right, guys. All right. All right. Rapid Results Business Coaching. Sitting here talking with my man Andy, waiting on a couple of other people. Uh, but hey, yeah, back to the comedy. If I hadn't have bought this ranch, the goal was to do a cross country tour and perform at a whole bunch of different places. I really wanted to go to Austin and be at Joe Rogan's place called the Mothership.
I've seen it. Looks amazing, doesn't it?
Yeah, but God, I remember Joe Rogan like it was when I performed way back when it was 1989, 1990, and then 90. It's funny. I got this freaking book right here. Like 1990 is when I quit or didn't quit, but just said, man, I got to focus on building the business and feeding my family. I was going through my office today and found this old book.
I saw that signed.
Yeah, like because I met Michael in like 1990. I didn't even have money to buy this freaking book.
That is an amazing book.
Yeah, and then
one of my best books.
Yeah, and then I got I got focused and everything, and like 4 years later, there was another event that I wanted to go to, and I paid, I paid for the big ticket, VIP, sitting up front, lunch with all these different presenters and all this stuff. Had dinner after the event with Michael and a couple other guys, and got the freaking the autograph thing. And
that is really cool.
I almost had forgot I even had this freaking thing.
That's going to be worth some money.
I don't know about that, but I mean, I mean, he's just as average as you'd think he would be. He just like whatever when he wrote it. I think he wrote it in the mid '80s, but it made sense. And when I first seen it was the E myth. I didn't even know what E stood for, and I was like, "What the hell is E?" The E's it's like entrepreneur myth. I said, "What do you mean myth?" And all this other stuff. And he's like, "Yeah, it's like it's this entrepreneur myth. People think that they're going to start their own business and have all this free time and make all this money, and it's not. They end up creating a job for themselves, and they'd be better off working for somebody."
Is that the book where he talks about pulling the pin?
Yeah. Because when I was in the crowd listening to all that, God, I don't even know how old I was in 1990, but I knew he was describing me to a freaking T. I was like, quit school at 16, had to quit working for whoever I was, and because I wanted to make more money, and I was a jerk, and just I was like, I can do this. I'll just rent my own equipment, all that crap, and I ended up working freaking 80 hours, and so everything he was on stage saying, I was like, shit, man, that's me, and it was all of us in the freaking crowd, but it was fun to 4 years later to put into practice as much as I could everything that he talked about and be able to show back up. I think I bought this in like 205 or 206, which was revisited. The revisited, but he had wrote it for the contractor, but I think he wrote a whole bunch of them for different areas and different trades. But I make all the guys that come to work for us, I get them this book. There's like this book. What's up, Glenn? Yeah, when those guys come to work for us, I give them this book, As a Man Thinketh. I give them the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, and definitely this one and a couple of others. And I also tell them too is like I just send out a text message to all the guys that in our company that I said, hey, if you guys want to download the Audible app, I'll buy you a new book, every week, every month, whatever, as many as you guys want to listen to, but only if you're going to freaking listen to them. And then when we have our company when we have our company meetings, we'll go over different books and what they're doing. Like the sales rep manual, this manual, I just had a whole bunch of these printed up because I gave them to there's two young men, so I gave it to both of them. I said start going through this manual because one of them will be ready at the end of this year to start giving estimates and running his own projects, and the other young man will be probably a year behind that, and we'll find helpers for him to train and just move into a whole different role. The goal is to, and it's not mine. It's like every Sunday when we have our business meeting with my daughter and her partner and a couple other people, it's kind of motivating to hear what they want to do in the future and stuff. But we want to provide the trailers wrapped with all the, decent, nice new tools or whatever. And the guys just have to show up with their truck. We're debating about, because I don't want to get the truck, because if you get them the truck, they have to have, they got to be able to they got to be able to put something into it. So if they show up with their own truck, we may wrap that for them, but they have to pull the tools from the trailers and all that stuff. But they can make a nice chunk of change. We always, that's when we interview and we go through all of that stuff and we're talking about the future with us and their future, where they want to be. But one guy with a helper is Ryan said, "See me where?" Oh, I see some Ryan. Oh, okay. I think that's a different Ryan. I was trying to add this other guy, but he told me his video wasn't working. I mean, we sit there and show him the number. One dude and his helper can easily do a refinish 2,000 square feet in a week. And if we're paying them $1.75 a square foot, that's $3,500 a week times 52 weeks. He'll be at 182 grand, 200 grand a year with all the repairs and other stuff. And we pay for everything. We pay for the helper, all the supplies. The project manager makes sure, like a week in advance, 3 days in advance, we're going through everything to make sure it's all there. The finish that they need, the sandpaper, reducers, shoe molding, wood for the repair, all of that stuff. So
they just turn up and do the job.
Yeah, when he shows up, he's not worried about stain, because when he does samples, he lets us know what color. The project manager will pick that up, show up with the towels and the stain. He doesn't have to leave the job site. That's the biggest thing. He can stay there and make money instead of driving all over the place trying to do different stuff. But it really all started with this book here and Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and the Four Quadrants. Those two books combined really made an impact on me, especially Robert Kiyosaki's, because that's another one. When you look at E being employee, S being self-employed, B being business owner, I being an investor, because I don't think I would have ever got out of the S quadrant, meaning just self-employed, always working for yourself, always trading time for money. And that's what I had said today I wanted to talk about was, because Glenn is younger than me, but Glenn knows, man, when I hit 60 last year, December, man, the older you get, the more you realize how valuable time is. And I've talked about this for the last 15 years is, man, when you're using your time to earn money, because time is all we have. The greatest gift we have is time on earth that God gave us. And there's only the 24 hours in a day, and you're going to be 8 hours sleep, all that other stuff. Hopefully you're dedicating an hour to working out something, but then the kids and the wife. And it's like, I mean, if you looked at all the things that really need to go on during life, you almost don't have time to work when you vacation with the kids and the family and everything. But we only have such amount of time. That's why to me it's so important that I wish more contractors would understand that. It's like, man, if you have to be there and you're working 8 hours framing the house, doing the drywall, working on the roof, if you have to be there to do that, it's just you're so limited to how much you can earn in a certain amount of hours. And thank God, one of the guys that told me years ago, he said, man, when you're using your two hands, you're limited to the income that you can earn. If you can learn to manage and get people to work with you and for you, those two hands can be, 5 guys can be 10 hands, 10 guys can be 20 hands, and it can be as many as you want it to be. And then there's no limit to how much you can earn. Then it goes back to, I was saying last week on the group call was, then it's like with all contractors, with anyone, I've been doing mental martial arts, teaching that program forever, personal development, but it all starts with asking yourself what kind of life I want. I get kind of frustrated with it sometimes because there's so many of these motivational dudes that want to sit around and have you meditate and do positive affirmations and all this other stuff. Like, dude, the only thing that fucking matters is work, man. You got to do is your actions. It's like, but why are you working? Why are you taking those actions? Like, really, I mean, whether you're planning a vacation or the house that you want to buy, if you have the wife and being married makes a huge difference, man, because you get to work as a team. It gives you more to work for. I swear, man, if it wasn't for my wife and kids, I mean, I don't know what I'd really do. I mean, like, I definitely wouldn't have the motivation to try to earn more money. My big goal was when I left North Carolina was to try to get to my mother. I didn't have any money. My mom had to buy me a bus ticket to California because I figured if I was going to be a bum and work at McDonald's, I might as well get a job at McDonald's in Hawaii. And I knew California was closer than to Hawaii than North Carolina was. And she was out here. And I came out here and I got a job selling shoes at this place called Kenny Shoes. And it doesn't even exist anymore. But I sold shoes. I was pretty good at selling shoes. And I swear to God, the only reason I was is because my North Carolina accent was so thick, they really didn't understand what I was saying. But I was working in a mall, and across the hallway was a nail salon, and the girl doing nails in there, we ended up dating, and that's the guy who did hardwood floors, and the rest is where I'm at right now. It's like nobody picks. I mean, I don't know if anybody picks construction to be in it. Like, I don't know. I think we just get in it somehow.
Yeah.
How did you end up in it, Andrew? I know you with the carpet and everything else, and now you're doing the refinishing. But I mean, even that, I mean, you don't graduate, college going, yeah, I want to clean carpets.
No way. So I left school and went straight into retail. I didn't go to college or anything like that. And then I ended up working for Coca-Cola Enterprises as a sales rep. So I did that for a lot of years. Absolutely loved it. Drove around in a company car, worked for one of the biggest brands on the planet, and really enjoyed it.
It sounds like a pretty good gig.
It was a great gig, but what happened is there's a chef in this country called Jamie Oliver.
Oh yeah, man! Yeah, I mean, I used to watch all of his shows on. He had a couple of different reality shows.
Yeah, so he came in and he went into schools, and that schools were one of my biggest customers. So we put vending machines in, we'd put fridges in, and I'd turn up with a load of pens and balloons and freebies to give out. And then he went in and did like he revisited healthy eating. And Coca-Cola were kicked out of schools overnight. I lost half of my accounts.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man, here I am sitting here enjoying the show, and it's screwing up Andrew's life. Because he did it. He did with the kids. One of the episodes I really remember was he took all the guts and all the inner parts of chicken, and he was showing it to the kids, and they're like, "Oh, I would never eat that." And he balled it up and he put it in this batter and he turned it into a chicken nugget. And then they were like, "Yeah, okay." And he was like, "What? I just showed you all this crap that's in it. You're going to eat it?" And they're like, "Yeah, give it to me." I don't know if it turned out the way he wanted, but
probably not.
Funny.
Then my dad was selling advertising, and he said, "Look, there's a business model here where we produce a little magazine, a little A5 magazine that goes free through people's doors." So we set that up in 2004 because it was the year I got married, the year I bought my first house with my wife, and I ditched my job with Coca-Cola and said, "Right, let's do this." So we did it for 14 years, and then we sold out to Vistaprint in Boston.
I don't know about Boston, but I know Vistaprint. They're big online also.
Yeah, so we sold our print business to them in 2015, and I had to do a year working for them up in Dundee, and then I was approached as a sales director for a recruitment company in the Northeast, and that's when it went tits up for me. It was just a bad experience. So I did a year and a half and worked for a really bad boss, like a real narcissist. I'd be getting a text messages 10 o'clock at night. What WTF is going on with the sales, blah, 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 blah. And I just thought, you know what? I think I hit 40. I hit 40 and I was just like, no way, this is going to kill me.
Yeah.
So I ended up, I took 6 months out. I took 6 months out just to kind of enjoy some time with the family, did some like school trips with the kids, went out to, took my daughter. I joined my daughter on a school trip and took my son to school and things like that. Just started to enjoy life a bit. And then started looking around. There was an old guy selling his business. He was looking at retiring. And I thought, it's a people-based business. It's a new skill. I can do that. So I bought that in.
How long ago, Andrew?
Say again?
How long ago?
2018.
2018. So how old are you right now, Andrew?
47.
47. Yeah, because I think I posted the other day something about men in general earn the bulk of their money between 40 and 65. Really.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, which it tends to be true. And then Glenn is, I think Glenn, what are you, like 56?
55.
55?
55 and a half.
Yeah,
so
and then hey, you on that big, you sitting there right now working. What are you on, like that big bulldozer or something?
Excavator. I'm loading up our 2.5-inch recycled asphalt for a guy. It was an interesting story on that. You talk about sales and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I know you go back to motivational speakers and all this stuff, and you shouldn't do low propensity work type of thing and stuff. But one of the things I always grew up in, everybody that I knew that knew something, you're the one you should always go to the post office because you control the mail, you see what comes in and out. So anyway, long story short is I was getting the mail and there was a power company replacing a power pole. And we're only like a mile from the deal, from the post office to our recycle yard. And so I just came, hey, if you guys have concrete or asphalt. Well, they never came and dropped anything off or whatever, or picked up any gravel. But 6 months later, one of the employees calls me just last week, and I'm selling him about $6,000 worth of recycled concrete and asphalt.
Damn! Just from that brief conversation.
Just going there and giving him our rate sheet, but we didn't sell it to the contractor, but he kept the sheet. And he calls me up last week and goes, hey, I want some of your 2.5-inch or 2-inch screen material. And then I downsold him on the asphalt because what he wants, it's not the good stuff yet, but he's going to put the good asphalt later on, maybe later this summer. So it might turn into, I don't know, $7,000-8,000 by the time it's all said and done. But by the end of this week, it will be, and it's just a fill in because you can bring it whenever you need to. Yeah. And so it'd be about $6,000 when it's all said and done.
Yeah. Because that's what I got the guy over here at the ranch doing all the grading and fixing a lot of stuff. And he has he leaves his big old tractor thing here. And I told him, I said, I'm not in a big crazy. He gave me a pretty decent deal, but I said, yeah, just use this as fill-in time. Like if right. go make money somewhere else. And then when you got a couple of days off or whatever, come over here. I'm not in a big hurry.
Right.
Hey, but Glenn, I think, isn't that a family business that you're in? Didn't your dad own it and stuff before?
Our dad started it, and then my brother and I are running it now.
And you're going to sell it. Your kids don't want to take it over?
No, they want nothing to do with it.
Damn.
They go, you work too hard, which is funny now. As they're getting into the workforce, they're working as long and hard as I am. So it's kind of funny, but growing up, they went, oh, Dad, you work too hard. And I'm like, but, you go back to a little bit. I'm going through this course that the state economic development, they gave it away free. But here's something interesting about it. When it started out, it's a 10-week course, Brian, and it regularly costs like $15.99, but I don't know what kind of deal, but the state's paying for it. And today we started out with 60 the first Tuesday, and I think we're on week 7, and 16 people were on the call today. 16 or 17 people. It just drops off by the time they don't have the time or whatever. it was just kind of interesting. But a thing that kind of came up today is vocational and stuff. Is, what do you want to do with your? And when I grew up, there was not other things to do.
Yeah.
And there was no freeways to get around, or the freeways were just coming out. So you're around in your community. So now there's so many more other things. And like 100 years ago, your workplace was below you and you lived above it.
Man,
and so a shoemaker or whatever, an iron worker, a grocery store, you name it, type of thing. And now it's like, well, what do you want to do? And it's like, well, I don't mind. Working is fine with me. I mean, I want to travel and do other things, and I wanted to support that, but I have no problem working. And people go, well, I want to golf, or I want to go tennis, or I go, I suck at golf. I get more pissed at golf. I get more.
That's
I get more
hurt
pissed at that golf course than I do on a job site. So I'm like, I don't mind golfing. I golf a couple times for fundraisers and stuff the year, but I have no desire to do that. The only desire I really love to is travel and see new places and go around and learn that way. That's what I like to see. And then when I travel, I always look at construction sites to see if I can learn anything from them. Yeah, that's how they're doing it, something differently. So that's.
Yeah, keep going.
And then there was one other thing. Gosh, now. You talked about Kenny shoes.
Yeah.
Brian, isn't that okay? So there was a deal on TV. I don't know if it was on Inside Edition or Fox News, NBC News, one of the things, or maybe it was just on a deal. But they brought in, and this goes right to marketing. It was in LA, in Beverly Hills or something. This was when Payless shoes was still around. They took all the Payless shoes and they put them in this high end. They remodeled this store, put them on all high end. No.
Nope. He had a point. He had a point there.
Man, come back. But he was talking about when he mentioned the like it being at the post office and like you used to live upstairs. If you read the book by Gary Vaynerchuk, The Thank You Economy, man, the whole first part of that book is really how communities, like before, like when you're just horse and buggy, you really didn't go anywhere. And like you were just in that little community and everybody knew everybody, and the general store was the general store. And then you got into, the cars, and cars got a little bit faster, and then the freeways, and then the trains and the planes, to where now that's what really put the mom and pop little store that was right on Main Street, kind of put it out of business, only because you could get in your car and drive 5 miles or 10 miles to the mall where everything. But he goes through that whole history in the Thank You Economy book. And the Thank You Economy book is really good because it's all about kind of how the how the people feel when you finish the job. I was in a Facebook group today and someone mentioned it, which is really good.
Like in the service industry, they don't really want a big name brand. They really don't, in my experience at least. Like you could have a bigger company, but they still want that homegrown feel. You know what I mean? That's
we get that all the time. Like as soon as they know we're family owned and all this other shit from like 1982, they love it. And then when they're talking to my daughter and like they find out that she's taken over her dad's business, it's like, oh my God, a girl and this and all this.
Yeah.
It's like, it's already done. Glenn, are you there?
He came right back.
Yeah, he's on that damn forklift thing. But hey Shane, where are you out of?
Omaha.
Omaha, Nebraska?
Yes, sir.
What's the weather right now?
It is miserable. Like it's raining right now, and it's dropping. My app says it's going to drop 6 degrees an hour, and then it's supposed to blizzard from 8 to 3 in the morning. And
wow.
It's and so tomorrow it's going to be a sheet of ice. I'm not sure if we're going to even be able to work tomorrow because they can't throw the salt on the ground until the rain stops. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, I always wondered like that. It's like, I don't know, like Doug just jumped on, but Doug used to work in the freaking snow. I don't think it doesn't snow that much in in Tennessee anymore, does it, Doug? Not like New Jersey.
Not where I'm at, not Southern Tennessee.
No.
Yeah, and I mean,
you guys just, man, you just, because you do hardwood flooring, right? Right, Shane?
yeah. I do hardwood floors, so like work never really like comes to a complete stop in the snow. But you know, like you gotta, if you're gonna die on the roads, then you know, no.
I wonder, because I hated work. I hate working in the rain, and we're spoiled in California. These dudes,
Really,
it starts raining. They're like, "We working today?" I mean, get your ass over there.
Right. Well, the real problem with hardwood floors in the wintertime is when you're walking out and that last cut in will flash right in front of you and turn white, and then you gotta deal with the customer bitching. It's like, lady, it was -2. Like, come on.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Hey, Shane, how long you been doing the wood floors?
I'm coming up on 7 years.
All right, good man.
Yep, and like started doing side jobs after about year 3, and then I went on my own for 2 years, but then me and my business partner kind of had a falling out, and kind of screwed me over.
Did you text me that?
Yeah, and
yeah. I mean, it's look, Joe, it's better to do it right now and get it over with than to be 10, 15 years.
Exactly. So
then it's a mess.
Yeah, I wish him the best, but I mean, you know, if he fell in a hole, I don't think I'd give him a ladder either.
Yeah. Hey, that wasn't your dad, was it?
No, that was a business partner.
No, man. Look, man, I'm telling you guys, you know how many calls I get? I probably get at least 3 calls a year, either from the son or the dad, and they've like, man, like they ready to kill each other, and they're, you know, and one has left the other one, and now I need to start my business, and like I'm like, dude, in the same town as your dad, or you know, the dad with the is like, I'm like, man, I ain't no fucking counselor, but
no, my dad cleans carpets, so that's why I do hardwood floor, because carpet's gross.
Yeah, Andrew, you still cleaning carpet, right?
Yeah, clean some today.
Yeah, because we're not going to clean no carpet, but we did, like at our meeting Sunday. We looked at adding, not this year, but maybe next year, because we do the hardwood floor maintenance, but we thought about adding hard surface cleaning, like tiles, ceramic, all that shit with the grout and all that crap.
I'm super into it. I've never done it, or I didn't add it to my business personally, but for like, you know, $1.25, and you're not even putting a coat on it, like it's good money.
Yeah, that's what made us think about it, because my wife tried to get some, like before the house we just sold and moved out of, we had tile, and she called someone to clean it, and it was like $2.50 a square foot, and she was like, "No, we're going to leave this the way it is."
Well, I mean,
but then I just brought I brought one of the buffers in, and hey, Doug, you know that the pad that goes on the end of the buffer, on the bottom of the buffer, but it has like the bristle.
Yep.
Yeah, so I just got some hot water and soap and just mopped the hell out of it with that bristle, and then just cleaned it and vacuumed it up, and then polished it with a white. I think we used a red pad. Shit, I was like, well, shit, I could almost do this and charge for it.
Do you guys have LVT floor, like luxury vinyl tiles?
Are you cleaning those, Andrew?
Yeah, absolutely, cleaning them, and we don't call it sealing, but we dress them. So you get a matte sheen or a gloss sheen, and yeah, it's easier maintenance.
What's the material that you use on that, and like does it like break apart when the floor, like, you know, floats wherever? I don't
think so. I've never done it, but a lot of guys are doing it. Do you do it, Doug? Have you done it, Andrew?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I did some shit years ago that I wasn't supposed to do. I coated a laminate floor with oil base.
Oh shit!
Hey, how'd that work out?
I told the guy it wasn't going to work, but he said he don't care. So I said, all right, if you don't care, I don't care. Let's go.
I'm selling what you're buying. What you're buying.
But no, that was the only time I've done it. I know.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know ProCoat sells a product that goes over. A lot of them are now, because it's another market.
Yeah.
Right.
So now, how are you doing it? Are you using a power scrubber? Are you using a buffer? How are you cleaning the LVP and doing it?
Yeah, exactly that. So, so red or black pad.
Oh,
Okay.
With a neutral cleaner. Obviously extracting it with a wet vac, getting it dried up, and then mopping on just like a.
oh, it's like a VCT kind of.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense because like I was always worried about it like breaking apart, but
Yeah, me too.
No, because because I'll go at the end of this month. I'll go camping with the RV with about 4 buddies, and one of them keeps wanting me to coat his LVP stuff in his RV, and I'm like, shit. He's like, man, if it don't work, I got to see you every other week. So I may end up doing it. Glenn, you're back, man. You was in the middle of a story and left us hanging like a cliffhanger.
Oh man, he had it. He was going. He was on a roll.
We didn't hear the end of your story, Glenn. You cut out on us.
Okay.
You're talking about Payless.
What part of the story was it in?
You were talking about Payless.
Yeah,
okay, Payless shoes.
Oh yeah, the Payless shoes, and they took all the shoes and went to like Beverly Hills and redid the store and make it look like it's a high end, and then you cut out. Yeah,
and then the most expensive shoe at Payless was like $30, and the least expensive shoe was $300, and went up to like $800-900. And they had all these ritzy ladies and men come in, mostly ladies. Oh, I love this shoe, all the way around, and they thought just because they went into the store, they'd get all this money. And the people think, oh, it's the same. It's not Payless shoe. I'll never go into Payless shoe, but it's the same shoe. And then at the very end, after they paid, they gave them the money back, and they told them all these shoes came from Payless. And they were just like, oh my gosh.
There's actually another story just like that where they put lotion into smaller, high-end bottles, and they put these lotions and celery into a blender, and then they put the Latin word for celery on the label, and so it sold it for.
Yeah.
But hey, that's funny because I drank some almond milk at one time before I educated myself. But my wife even made some almond milk. But when almond milk first came out, it was over on the shelf with all the dry goods, and no one was buying it. So they took it and put it in the refrigerator beside the regular milk, and everybody started buying it.
Yeah.
But
and there's like 14 different kinds of milk out there now too.
Oh man, all I drink now is raw goat milk, brother. That's all I like. And pretty soon I'll be milking the damn goat myself. She's pregnant, so she'll be having a baby pretty soon. But I'm glad you brought that up, because one, I wanted to talk about time more, but it's everything is perception. Everything I talked either last week or the week before, I talked about marketing. Marketing is all emotions, controlling the pictures that we think in our mind, because from the pictures in our mind is what stir up our emotions. And if you can turn those pictures into a movie, you can actually kind of just, you can, almost brainwash people. But we take our actions based on our emotions, and it's the way that we paint the pictures in their mind. But everything is perspective. So when you show up and the trailer's wrapped, or your truck is wrapped, or you just look good, they're going to mentally think that you're doing a better job. When you keep the job sites clean, they're going to think that you're doing a better job. Doesn't have shit to do with how it is. Because I know guys who are super sloppy, but they do extremely good work. But in the mind of the homeowner, they think, oh man, this dude's truck looks like shit. He's messy. He does this. And so they will look at your work closer, because they're trying to find something wrong with it so they can say, I knew I was right. And at the same time, if you show up, man, you lay out the tarps, you're protecting everything, your trailer looks good, your truck looks good, you do shitty ass work, and friends come over and say, man, the scratches ain't supposed to be there, this ain't there, you mess up something, they're going, no, there must be a reason. So no, it's probably, so they'll try to defend you and the mistake, because in their mind, they already think you're going to do the great job. And that's why I'm telling you guys, I preach video so much, is because they're going to find you on the internet before they call you, whether it's like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is. And that's how you build that relationship, through all these Facebook or through the YouTube videos, the content videos, the video testimonials, already in their head. They're like, oh man, this is the guy. This is the guy. And now it's like, for my daughter, it's like stupid crazy because everything is story. It's like all sales are stories. It's like you're just building the stories with people. And my daughter has the great story. Like my story used to be, I moved out here from North Carolina, furniture factory. I got into wood. It's kind of like as a kid, I grew up with furniture and wood and like this and like this is all I do. Like and so that was my story, and I moved into it. My daughter's story of selling is my dad started this business in '82. She grew up into it. I was going to sell it. This was my third company I was going to sell. She wanted to take it over and keep it in the family and keep it and grow it. And she grew up around it, and she loves the smell of wood and this. And there's video of her running the sander. There's video of her running the edger, all of that shit. And so it just makes them, and being a female in the construction, it just, the whole story just sells easier. And I'm trying to convince her to do some online courses and get like some kind of degree in decorating, whatever the fuck that means. It's just one more little notch in the belt to where she can say, yeah, like whatever, I don't know. These colors go with this. You can pick this type of flooring for that, and this type of room. You really, with the light that comes in, you'll be able to bring all that shit.
It makes it easier for him to tell naturals.
Yeah, because like, I don't know if you do this, Doug, but one of my biggest things is when we're doing samples, the homeowners are always standing at it looking straight down, and I make them back up 10 feet away and look at it.
Oh, yeah. Because,
and I always tell them, say, hey, interior designer taught me years ago that you're not going to walk around looking at your toes. You're going to see the big picture. And when you do walk away, it makes a big difference in the way the floor, the sample looks. And then I make them walk all the way from different angles, the way the light is and shit. And they're like, oh my God, you know everything. And it's like, I mean, to not do it is crazy.
Yeah, I sell them on coming in a couple weeks prior and doing samples.
Oh, do you still do that?
I still do that. I just did it the other day.
No,
I do hand samples and then I do samples on the floor once I'm on the site. That's how I do it.
Because when we do the consultations and like all that crap, most of the time, I don't know, it's like 50-50 maybe. It's pre-finished engineered floor, but there's always a half a box in the garage that usually like if they just bought the house, they don't even know about it. So the sale guy goes and digs in the whatever in the garage and finds it, and he'll take a couple of pieces, and we'll always make the samples. Or if it's just traditional 1/2x2 red oak or white oak, we can make the samples. And now we like our Sunday meeting, we talked about maybe buying iPads. I don't know. We're still talking about it, but I think we talked. Remember, Doug, I said it's like that way when the dude is measuring everything up, we can show up, go to YouTube, say, hey, watch this video. It's kind of the same floor that you have here. As I'm measuring everything up, you can kind of see it, and they can watch like a little 3 or 4 minute video of their floor.
They do have apps where it'll like you can take a picture of their house and then it'll put the color on their floor. Yeah.
So I don't know, but like we started off, me and Andy earlier to like 3:40 now, but at 3 it's like, I'm telling you guys, you're not going to get any younger. You are as young as you're ever going to be right now. Tomorrow you're going to wake up older, and you're running out of time. Man, I don't want to say Netflix and TV will kill you. And don't get comfort, man, because comfort kills. You really have to plan out your legacy, meaning the life that you want to live. Sit down with the wife, sit down with the kids. And if you don't have that and you're single, honestly, man, you got to sit down and really plan out what it is, where you want to be in the next 5 years. If you haven't read Patrick Bet-David's book, Your Next 5 Moves, Next 5 Moves is great. But what's the other one, Doug? His latest one?
Know your enemies, or choose your enemies wisely.
Yeah, choose your enemies wisely. That book, the title doesn't tell you what it is. But it choose your enemies wisely really is writing a business plan, and it's how to write a life plan for the next 20 years. And we read it last year or something. But you really have to sit down and just start. And he does it every year with his group, and I do it with my guys every month. We have our business meeting on Sundays, but once a month I have all the employees. We go eat lunch or something, and I always ask, all right, have your goals changed? You know, what do you want to do? And most of them like really want to they want to stick with hardwood floors and make it big. And maybe even run a couple of crews, but they can run just themselves and a helper. They can make, you know, really good money, anywhere from 150 to 200 grand a year. And if they want to do more than that, they can. They just have to run more crews. Remember, like me and Andrew just talked about, if you're using your own two hands, you're stuck making a certain amount of money. A doctor is only stuck making a certain amount of money. But if he owns the hospital and he's got 10 doctors working for him, like little urgent care shops, you can make more money because you're making money off of those doctors. I work with 2 chiropractors right now doing all their websites and marketing. Go ahead.
I got a question about that. How old do you think the business should be before you buy a storefront so you can get the cheaper pricing on the material?
Honestly, man, God, I don't know if it's shit. Read both of those books I just said, but I'm pretty sure it's Choose Your Enemy Wisely, where he talks about some programs that it's definitely your next 5 moves. In your next 5 moves, he goes through step by step how he built his insurance company right before he sold it, and he looked at things like storefronts, but he looked at like computer programs, how much it was going to cost, what it would do, how it would increase, how many phone calls could we do. So all of that to say this is because we even before you do a storefront is you got to figure out all the numbers for the next 3 years. How much is the rent going to cost you? How much is the everything? And then how much more profit do you have to create to cover that? How long is it going to take you? But with me, storefront is also going to be if you have the right location, that's good. That half of that rent is going to be your marketing budget. Because you guys hear me all the time. I'm talking about 20% of the dollar that comes in should be towards marketing. 30% trying to grow. So so if it's a high end and people are driving past it all the time, instead of spending $2,000 a month on marketing, maybe 1,000 of that is towards your rent, because that is the marketing. You got the big sign, whatever, people are seeing it. You can wrap the building, QR code. Because
I think that was a part of the downfall of the last business, because we rented a shared space in a building so we could, and it was literally just so we could get the distributor pricing. And really it was good for the floors or the pre-finish that we did sell, but that was only like 5 or 6 floors, because we were mainly an unfinished company. So like it didn't really make too much sense to me, because like those 5 floors probably only, like the sale of the floor probably only paid for like one of those months, and that was like
and that's and a lot of people do that. They want to get the showroom or this or that. I think a little warehouse where you can keep all your tools and some of the material, that kind of pays for itself. It gets you out of the house. I mean, but most guys work out of their garage, set their entire garage up as it. This ranch next to me right here, he's here probably once like 2 days out of the month probably. They live in Long Beach, California, but he stores a lot of his construction equipment here, the scaffolding, a lot of other stuff. I bet he writes his whole fucking ranch off on his business or the majority of it. And that's what, and I'm doing the same thing, not all of it, but as much as I can without getting in trouble. But the storefront, like, and I'm working with a guy right now that I started working with like 3 years ago in Raleigh, North Carolina. He was doing refinishing. We did the website and some other stuff. But now and I seen him a couple of weeks ago. He's online selling all of his shit. And I said, dude, what the hell, what's going on? He's like, man, I'm out. So he's got the showroom, and now he just wants to sell the material, make some money, do the installation, and have guys and sub out the installation. And he's going to try to sub out the refinishing part.
And I mean, like the thing about that is like installers are a dime a dozen in Omaha. So that's why I would, the goal is to have the storefront so I can sub out the work and have, more than just me doing the work. But like,
because a lot of times the homeowners will just buy the damn material themselves. So that's what I always talk. I mean, like these guys online that try to impress themselves with installations. I'm like, dude, the instructions comes in the fucking box. It ain't
right.
You cut it and it fits, or you cut it again. I mean, sanding is a little bit more detailed and a little bit more art. And like, I'm teaching my guys right now about stains and mixings and water dyes and alcohol dyes and that kind of stuff. But most of that they'll never do. I just want them to know if it ever comes up, they'll go, oh yeah, Brian showed us that 15 years ago, whatever. But you know, most of it, we stick to what makes money real easy. But yeah, there's a place for it, but it's you work it out backwards, the numbers. You got to work them out. How much is this really going to help? Is it because sometimes you'll lose money the first 2 years because you need that storefront to get to that next level where you want to be. You just really need to figure it out first, and you need to save the money. And that's Doug. How many times?
I think that's.
He's like, don't kill the golden goose. Every penny that comes in belongs to the company. Pay yourself the least amount as possible. When you've got 100, 200 grand sitting in the bank, you're going to buy the storefront and rent the 3 buildings next to you. And that place is going to pay for itself. You can get a small business loan. They'll help you do it. You can buy the front. So you're not renting it. You're buying a freaking building. That's how I would rather someone do it. Right, Doug?
Yeah. I think, because we just kind of jumped, both feet in without even, looking how deep the water was. And that's
because I got guys all the time want to take out a loan. I'm like, dude, you're going backwards. If you're not making and they want to take out the loan because they're taking all the money from every job. They're taking money from Peter to pay Paul. They're doing a job at the end of it's a $5,000 job. At the end of it, they may have got $1,000 profit. Maybe they're just, and that's the whole thing. If you're not making you can't borrow your way out of debt. It just ain't going to. Trust me, from someone who has lost everything several times, it just does not work. You can't.
That's the American way, Brian.
What's that, bro?
That's the American way. What are you talking about?
It is, man. Because what's that dude, man? I think he lives in Tennessee somewhere, but he has the talk show. He's Mr. Budget dude. What's his name?
Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey, yeah. I don't know. I don't want to say I dislike him, but I do agree with like 60, 70% of the shit he says. Maybe it's the way he says it, but shit, that's 99% of the people who say that about me.
It's a good blueprint, but it's for employees. That's what it is for.
Yeah, because you got to spend some money and get in debt sometimes and make some money. But man, I'm telling you, I swear to God, man, it's like everything is like save the money. You got to know where every penny goes. Track every penny. And that's like getting back to the whole time thing is you've got to have your daily journal. You've got to be tracking every minute of the day. You've got to be, if I'm talking to Doug at the end of the day, I got to be able to say, hey man, what you do? Like, it's almost like Elon, send me 5 things you did yesterday. or you're fired. But you've got to know what you like. Plan out your week on Sunday, plan out the month. Things are going to change, and then track why it's changing. You thought a job was going to take 20 hours and it ended up taking 15. That's great. But I want you to know that so that you can plan those other 5 hours to be doing something else. And that's like at the end of the day, our project manager, the last thing he has to, so at the end of the day, project manager says, it's probably Doug. Doug's going to tell 1 or 2 guys, hey, it's 3 o'clock. We're going to get out of here at 3:30. Start cleaning up. He walks out to the van. He fills out the activity sheet. How many papers we used, how many edger paper, how many sandpaper, how many hours. Boom, takes a picture of that, sends it to the office, emails it to the office. The next day, the office girl wakes up and she's tracking how much profit we made that day. Are we going over budget, or do they need to speed up? What the fuck's going on? What's taking longer? Do we have to replace boards? We got to make sure we charge the homeowner for something, but we're keeping track of it every day. As soon as he finishes that paperwork, he goes in, helps them finish cleaning up, bam, does the last video walkthrough of the day, boom, boom, boom. Here's what we got done. Here's this. Look at that. We changed these boards. We didn't know we were going to have to change those boards. Here's whatever. At the end of the day, boom, that's uploaded to YouTube instantly. That YouTube link he sends either to the office or he texts it to the homeowner. So the homeowner is always updated. The next day, the lady in the office looks at it and she goes, oh, okay, shit. We thought we were going to be done Friday. At this rate, they're going to be done Wednesday. She's on the phone to the next project. Hey, we were going to start you Monday. Looks like we're going to finish early. We could be there Thursday and get a jump on it if you were saying you were hoping to get done so you could move in. Boom. But all of that shit is strategic. Every minute of the day is planned out, because if not, you're wasting it. You're wasting your most valuable asset. The greatest gift God gave you is time. And if you're not tracking it and using it wisely, you're wasting it. And if you're not using it the way you should, someone's using it for you. If you're not controlling your thoughts, someone's controlling them for you. You're letting YouTube, you're letting videos, you're letting TV, you're letting the news, something. I don't think most of you guys were on here when we started. I was telling Andrew, is like when our new guys show up, they get this book right here, As a Man Thinketh. Second book they get is the E-Myth Contractor, and I give them the number one book, which is The Richest Man in Babylon, because I need them to.
I love that book. That book is so good.
I can pay them less money than somebody else, but if I teach them how to save money, they'll think they're making more with me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I never had this much money in my savings account. I started working with Brian. We got some money now. We're saving up money. That kind of stuff. I'm going to buy. I think we're going to buy about 10 of the Millionaire Home Service dude. What's it called, Doug?
Tommy Mello.
Yeah.
The Home Service Millionaire.
Yes. Is that it?
I'm
going to buy 10 of those because everybody in the company has already either listened to it or read through it. But I want every one of my employees to read it, even the dude who just started right now that may not even know he wants to be in construction. Because if he reads or listens to that book, he's going to be going, God dang, this dude sold a garage company for $1 billion and he built it in less than 20 years. Because you don't have to hit the stars, but if you're shooting for them, I mean, my best friend Les Brown says most people fail in life not because they set goals too high and miss. Most people fail in life because they set goals too low and achieve them.
Ooh, yeah.
Right,
yes, sir.
You don't need to build a fucking garage door company that sells for $1 billion, but you can get somewhere in between. And most of us live paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, never getting anywhere that we want to be. And they blame it on their education. They blame it on their parents. They blame it on the clients. They blame it on Trump. They blame it on Biden. They blame it on Harris. They blame it on the homeowners. Homeowners are cheap. They're blaming it on everybody but them fucking selves. And the only one they should be blaming is themselves. The answers are out there if you put them into effect. You can read all these books, you can read my books, you can read all of that shit, you can watch all the videos, but the only thing that makes a difference at the end of the day is what you did with the time you're allowed in that day. What actions did you take? And I'm telling you, if I got on the phone with you, you should be able to go back through your daily journal and say, man, Monday I did this, boom, 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 boom. Tuesday, I got up early, 4:30, I was in the cold plunge. I went through here. I did this. I talked to this many people. We had this many phone calls. You should be able to tell me, because if you can't, you're wasting it. You're not going to remember it. You need to write it down in advance, and then you need to write it down afterwards, and then you need to compare the two. Just like I tell guys all the time, you need 2 estimates for every job you do, one for the homeowner and one for your company. I think we're going to do this on this day. I think we're going to do this on that day. We're going to get done with this. We're going to spend this. We're going to use this much equipment and products and material, and we're going to spend this much money, and we're going to have this much profit at the end of the job. And then when the job is finished, you write down everything that you did, just the way that same action sheet that I just told you about. You take, it may be a 5-day job, maybe a 10-day job, maybe a 3-day job. You look at those 3 sheets of paper or those 10 sheets of paper, and you go, okay, well, we thought we were going to do this, but we did that. okay, it's better than we thought, or it's worse than we thought, or now we know we can charge more, we can charge less if we have to. We know the profit margins, all of that stuff. Nothing is left to chance, man. I can't stress this enough. It's going to be whatever you make it. It's going to be whatever you make it, and that's up to you. And with that, that's the end of the day for me. I'm going to open it up, and you guys want to ask some questions or say some stuff before we get out of here.
I'd say another good story for people just getting into it is it's a lot like the richest man in Babylon, but it's in the book of Matthew. It's the parable of the talents, and the owner of the slaves, he gives one guy 5 talents, another guy 2, and another guy 1. He comes back after some time. The first guy with the 5, he says, "Books will show I doubled my money. Here's 5." Guy says, "Good job." Second one, "I did the same. Books will show I doubled my money to 2." And then the other guy, he said, "I knew you were going to come today, so what I did with mine is I buried my money. I didn't do anything with it, and I knew you were going to come today, so I dug it up, and here it is, the same one." And the master says to him, "Take that and give it to the guy with 10." If you're gonna waste your talents, then then you don't deserve it.
No, it isn't. It's like I don't know, like on my voice recorder, probably since '95, I've had the same answering. I've had the same thing. This is Brian Adams, blah 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 blah. Make today better than yesterday, tomorrow better than today, over and over again. It's like make today better than yesterday. Make today better than yesterday. It's just, it can be whatever you guys want. It's just you've got to plan it out, track it backwards, and then work the plan type of deal. You hear it all the time. It's the stupid cliches or cliches for a reason. You know, make the plan, work the plan, and then just track it. And Doug, how many videos did you upload to YouTube this week?
Not enough.
Yeah, at least 2 a day. At least there's no reason everybody shouldn't be doing 2 a day. I don't even do this fucking business anymore, and I'm doing more than you guys.
No, yeah, exactly. I didn't do I didn't do any. I uploaded them to Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook is okay. I mean, at least they're there. But the YouTube with the hashtag Refinish Wood Floors Chattanooga, Tennessee, in every subtitle, in the title of every YouTube video is going to get you found more. Hey
Brian, the worst part about this shit, the worst part, right, is that I know all that shit. That's the worst part about it.
But if you have your journal,
I've done the YouTube training with Terry. Like, I'm horrible, man.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up because I talked to Terry last week. Because you remember you told me to connect with him because Terry's using the same company. Yeah, Terry uses the same company I use for building websites and all that other shit, high level. And I guess inside high level, we can build CRMs, and so he's trying to put one together.
So do you guys give your videos to your marketing company, or do you just do all that shit yourself?
No, I am the marketing company, but my guys like
me too. Brian's my marketing company.
Hey, that's a fair question. That's a fair question. Don't act like you're gonna.
No, they go straight. I mean, there's a strategic plan to it, but like my guys, the project managers, every one of my guys, even the dudes that had been around for like 6 months, they get the login. It's like we do Facebook Live, or you used to do Facebook Live, and then we would download it and upload it to YouTube. But I lost the Facebook page and really didn't care about it anyway. But yeah, they'll do YouTube Live straight to YouTube, or they'll do the video on their phone and then upload it to YouTube instantly. They'll do it before. Is
it more educational? Is it more like professionalism? Because most of the time when I make my videos, it's me having fun on the job site, and that's gotten me work because people see that I actually enjoy what I do. But I could definitely see the other side being just as, if not more important.
I mean, they're a little bit. They're always educational. Some of them are fun.
How do you find your content, Brian?
Say that again, brother.
How do you find your content? Like, how do you decide on what you're going to post?
Andrew, I'm gonna kick your ass. There's never a here. Let me just share this whole page. You will never run out of content. Let's see.
I mean, the videos you're talking about, you just go in and you show the job, and you walk through the job. You explain, what's going on with the job. Yeah, that's what most of your videos are.
Yeah. So here's Only Wood Floors. You guys see this or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the homepage is usually set up for these videos. So the office people, I think like these are the newer ones or something, but all of these, like before and after, how much, the how-to videos, the 5-star happy homeowners, and then some other videos. This whole front page is basically for my office, because these are the ones that they show all the time. They'll grab these links and show and send these links to people over and over again. Like make it reduce, can engineer wood floors be refinished. So these are all like educational. But when you go to videos, latest, am I on YouTube yet? There should be a lot. I don't even see the live on here. I'm trying to find one that the dudes, hand distressed bamboo is a good one. Video testimonials with one of my sales dudes, me with one of the ladies. We're here. Let's see.
Good morning, happy homeowners. I'm here in Santa Ana with that hand distress floor doing a final update. We just got the second coat of finish on, so they have one more to do, but this is essentially what it's going to look like. That's all done. It looks pretty good. I'm here in the kitchen now. Much, much better.
But there may be 8 videos to one job site, but we'll take the before, during, and after, and I'll send it to a guy because I don't want to waste time doing the editing, and then he'll do a short video.
The homeowner is.
Let me see if I can back up without getting in trouble. But yeah, we start off every job. Let's see if this one's me. Number 1. Yeah, this one's me.
Are you ready to see your brand on TV? Your competitors wish they had known about it. This vibe.
All right, happy homeowners. We are out here in Canyon Lake.
So this one here, you hear the music in the background a little bit?
Got a really dark.
This was probably 6 videos, and I sent it to a guy. And he made the.
No, this one's been beat up for a while. And it's going to be.
This is hand distressed bamboo, super dark.
I'll tell you what it's going to look like.
This is how we cross
He's finishing the bamboo hand. Get a good suction. See all the high areas and low areas.
Working the highs and the lows.
A lot of work to get the hand distress over in Canyon Lake. Remember that dark black heavy distress
before video up here in the corner. You
bamboo
see it?
Floor.
Because I want to remind homeowners what it used to look like. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Almost looking like the natural white oak.
Down there in the bottom right.
What a difference! What a man! It's just like total different house.
So
now, when you're doing the before, you're doing the before the after videos, and you're doing that video in the corner. Do you walk the same path and take the same video?
No, not. I only do I want it exact when I'm doing pictures. The before and after picture has to be exact, and I want something in that picture, whether it's a window or a light socket or something. So there's no because if it's so drastic, I don't want them. I want them to know exactly. Oh my God, that is the same floor. With that, I'm usually just walking through as if it's a home makeover TV show. Like I just made everybody buy selfie sticks, and that's what we do the live. Because if I'm just using my phone and I hit record, I can't reverse I can't rotate the view. You know what I mean? because it needs to start off with me. It needs to start off looking at me like you've seen with my daughter. So you see her, the other guy, because they have to be seen over and over and over again. The more they're seen, the more they're going to be known, like, and trust. So when they show up or on the phone, they're like, oh, I seen that video you were in. Yeah, boom, boom. So it has to start off with me. Hey, happy homeowners. Brian here with Only Wood Floors. Boom. Man, we're over here in Irvine today. Got a good one. It's an old beat up this and that. Let me turn it around and show you what I'm talking about. Boom, turn it around. And then I just walk them through the house and I show them what we're going to be doing. At lunchtime, I'll do another one. Hey, it's Brian here. It's lunchtime. Remember the first video we did at 7:30? It's only 12:30 right now. I want you to see how much you can get done when you know what you're doing and you got the right equipment. And then you walk through the house and homeowners go, shit, that's faster than I thought it would be. See how much dust there's not. See the plastic? Boom, educating them. That video goes to the homeowner. So even if the homeowner's at work, they know what's being done during the day. Same thing at the end of the day, boom, here we are, we're cleaned up. Like I just told you earlier, that video gets uploaded and the link gets sent to the homeowner. And we're documenting everything, keeping it, all that shit. But over and over again. But yeah, where's Andrew at? Andrew, still there?
Hey.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. at Andrew's house. One, you can go to Google and you can ask any question about your industry. And Google, ask any question like a homeowner would ask, whatever it is. Can you refinish engineered wood floor? Whatever the question is. Whatever question you ask Google will give you 4 or 5 people also ask this related to whatever you just asked them. And then you click one of those questions and Google gives you the answer, but then you hit back to go back to the page you were previously on. And instead of being 4 questions, Google will now give you 7 questions. You hit one of those questions and then back up. Now Google will have added another 2 or 3 questions. And every time you click one of those questions and back up, Google will add 2 or 3 questions an infinite amount of times. So that's, you can answer all of those questions. So that's content, but you can go through every piece of equipment you have. That's content. You can go through your toolbox and show like scrapers that we use for the corners. Homeowners don't know anything about that. You get to show what that is and how we use it. You can show the file that we use and how we sharpen it. You can show how we hand sand. You can, all of that, every little thing. There's so many tools that you get, little hand tools, big tools, the edgers, the vacuums, the bags that we put, everything is content. Everything is educating the homeowner. And they're finding it all interesting. It's ridiculous how many times I'll send videos to people and they go, I already watched that and 4 other ones, blah, 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 blah. Like
one of my biggest videos was and like homeowners got super cummy pants for it. It was when I wax stick the floor and I had to use like 3 different wax sticks and made it all, look like it wasn't even there. Like that was that one jumped huge.
Yeah, Charlie's not on here, but Charlie's got a couple of videos where he's filling in the gaps and the cracks and other stuff. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to get out of here. Hey, the end of this month is the manual things. If you guys want to get in here and get these manuals, click the link and be a part of it. It's only 5 contractors, so I don't know, whenever it fills up, it fills up. Rather than that, track the time. Write down what you're going to do tomorrow, the rest of this week, and then see if you follow through with it. Doug, put on there every day I'm going to do at least 1 video and upload it. Oh, you know what too, Doug? Is your daughter still answering the phone and that stuff, or she's going to? Did Doug hang up? Put his ass on mute.
Well, guys, I got some homework to do. That's I appreciate the phone call.
All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Yep.
Thanks, Glenn.
Take it easy.
All right, man. Because yeah, we gotta get all that crap to her so she can get busy on it.